Carbondale, Pennsylvania has been a Democratic stronghold for decades, owing to the working-class families in the mining, manufacturing, and railroad industries. The city's mayor, Justin Taylor, has been a Democrat his whole life. Growing up, his family owned a home heating oil business. His grandfather wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty and told the young Taylor he'll grow up to be a Democrat just like him.
I've been a Democrat my entire life since I registered to vote at 18. I'm 42 now, 21 years in public service at the age of 42, so not the new kid on the block anymore, so to speak.
But Taylor says the Democratic Party has changed and it's moving towards socialism.
And as a Democratic mayor, it takes a lot of courage to endorse someone of the opposite party. Can you elaborate on why you chose to endorse President Trump?
I've been struggling with this for a while. I joked with you earlier, I'm 42 now, like I'm the old man on the block, but you know, as I've gotten older, I got married, we have a son, we have another baby on the way. My values and my attitude towards, you know, different things has changed. And, you know, I look nationally, obviously, because it's a presidential election, and I look at the Democratic Party, you know, over the past few years, and they just don't seem to represent who I am anymore. And I'm not saying I'm, you know, I drank some magic potion and I'm a Republican now. I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying, you know, the Democratic Party really isn't what I, you know, had originally thought it was, and it's changed quite a bit, and it just doesn't represent the values or the positions that I feel that I stand for.
Vice President Joe Biden, he's been in Washington for 47 years. Can you elaborate on what he's done for your community?
I'd be hard-pressed to point to one single item that specifically helped Carbondale. The left wing of the Democratic Party, who has control of that party now, is just dragging him along. He was the only one that could ultimately go head-to-head with President Trump. And that's why he's there. He's a figurehead. He's you know, it's not his plan. I mean, all these things that are being pushed, like I feel bad for him. I feel he's in a really bad spot. The plans going forward, I don't see any of them really helping Pennsylvania, especially with newest, you know, target on the back of the oil and gas industry. I mean, that's one of the things that really has bringing a boom to a huge portion of Pennsylvania. The Democratic Party continues to you know, dive left on. You know, as a mayor, you know, who's trying to revitalize a small town, I struggle with the fact that the Democratic philosophy is really more moving towards like a socialist, where they're looking to give more away. You know, I've seen in the last few years under President Trump, you know, the example or the slogan always goes, you know, a rising tide raises all boats. I've seen that. I've seen people, probably in some cases, their first job ever, and they were proud of that, and they were able to enjoy their life more. They had, you know, it might not have been, you know, family-sustaining wages, but they had a job, they had a purpose, they had principle, and they were contributing to the community, you know, and they weren't looking for the handout. I think that's part of the issue now, where the system is broken, and there's people who they find a way to manipulate the system. And, you know, the working families in Pennsylvania and specifically Carbondale, you know, those folks, they start to get resentful, and they start asking questions like, you know, why do I have to go to work every day and this person doesn't, but then they have this, and this. The Democrats seem to basically embrace any alternative concept or opinion, and again, in my opinion, purely for votes. But at the same time, they take all of those opinions and initiatives, and then they force them on everyone else, and they tell, you know, their rank and file that you have to change your opinion, and you have to think this way, and if you don't think this way, then you're X, you're a racist, you're a homophobe, you're this, that, the other. I'm a firm believer that, you know, everyone is entitled to their opinion. If you have a different opinion than me, that's great. I don't feel that it's my job to change your mind and change your opinion. That's the greatest part about our country. Everybody has the power of free thought and free will, but that's not the way the Democrats see it anymore.